Um, there we go. Hello, friends. Welcome to Turtle Power Presents the Power Playthroughs podcast with Turtle Power. I'm your host, Turtle Power, and this is the podcast where we play games in a powerful way. And yeah, we're gonna check out some Switch games. I got a couple new games to check out today. So this is gonna be the first one I'm playing is Anodyne 2: Return to Dust, and then there'll be a couple more hitting the podcast feed soon. Or you can pop over to Twitch, because I am streaming this on Twitch, and you'd be able to see the, the video of it on there. So yeah, the first one we're gonna check out is Anodyne 2: Return to Dust. Anodyne is a game that I played early on after my child was born, when I was in a very sleep-deprived state. It was kind of a Link's Awakening inspired, but even more surreal top-down adventure game. Anodyne 2 is a little different. We'll talk about that in a second. Right now we see on the screen it says, "A warm breeze fills the air. A paper floats by and comes to rest on the ground. It is a letter. It reads, Summer 2019. Dear player, thank you for playing Anodyne 2: Return to Dust. It is somewhat of a spiritual successor. It has narrative and thematic ties to the first Anodyne, but features a completely new world and characters. That is to say, the two games can be enjoyed in any order. At times, the world of Anodyne 2 may be a strange or confusing place, but at its heart is a story of human struggles and relationships. Now, come on, let's go on a curious and wonderful journey together. Melos Hantani and Marina Kitaka." And we see a creature floating in the air who's got a harp. This whole game, we're going to be looking at kind of Nintendo 64-ish graphics. So this figure with a stringed instrument in the shadows, the harp is like glowing rainbow colors, says, "Some say that life is a circle. Madness. All things grow from a point, a center. Everything to come was already here. It melts out from a tiny capsule, like a sponge in bloom. The beauty is to witness the true shape of the primordial point, its fractals unfurled to their limits, the atomic indivisible tips of its tentacles. Time, after all, is a looking glass, an illusion, and yet the truest way to see yourself." Maybe it said ourself. I did say ourself. And then she says ... And another character appears next to them who is wearing like a blue dress and looks like they have like a shield or something on their arm. And it says, "The figure with the beautiful voice. Stunning words as... I don't like that voice. Stunning words as always, friend. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. The one we are here to meet is barely a baby, not yet hatched. We must lead her gently into the bright light of the world." And then the figure with the beautiful voice says, "Oh look, our precious Nova seems to be stirring." The following are the first words that Nova will ever hear. In time, the contents of the speech will fade into obscurity, but she will never forget first hearing this voice. Ah yes, this voice, so fragrant, so beautiful that Nova felt like crying. Had she been blessed with tear ducts, perhaps she would have. You may have forgotten how hard it is when you first realize that you exist. Nova certainly felt that now, but when she heard this creature speak, she thought, perhaps it might be worth it. "Nova, Nova, can you hear me? Take a deep breath, my darling, then open your eyes." And the screen fades to black. We see ... From the darkness, an orange glow, and from the silence, the crashing of waves. And those two figures fade out into pixels, and the camera fades in, and we see a girl lying, curled up in the fetal position, on a cliffside overlooking an ocean, again in very Nintendo 64 looking graphics. She sits up, she's got a hat, and there's the figure with the beautiful voice on a TV screen, a giant TV screen on the beach in front of her, and the figure with the beautiful voice says, "There she is. Still a little woozy, are you? Don't worry, it's natural to feel disoriented when you first gain consciousness. Child, your name is Nova, and you are an extraordinary creature with the unique ability to shrink to microscopic sizes. It will come in quite handy, as you'll soon see. My name is Palisade, and I'm here with Sea's Psalmist. Together we will serve as your caretakers and your guides." Palisade, aka the Shield. That sweet voice, it says. Definitely lifts and will fight for you. And then Sea's Psalmist, the musician, dedicated songwriter, awkward around kids, kind of a nerd. And then it says, "Mommies?" ? And then Mommy's got deleted. And it says, "Caretakers and guides." Would you like to say hello to... Oh, wait, this is Palisade talking. "Would you like to say hello to Nova, Sea Psalmist?" And C. Psalmist says, greetings. I'm going to change this voice now. Young Nova, it is I, C. Psalmist. I'm speaking to you from outside of your egg. Space, after all, is an illusion. It could be likened to a looking glass. A looking glass is a mirror, by the way. I used to think it was a telescope or a microscope. You know, some kind of tube-shaped object. And Palisade says, thank you for that enlightening clarification, Sea Psalmist. Now, Nova, as Sea Psalmist mentioned, you are currently inside of your egg. In order to hatch and truly begin your life, you will ride the Hatch Line monorail that leaves from the top of the hill. But you can only leave it if you obtain the sacred Glandilock seed. For now, you may think of the Glandilock seed as your ticket to ride. First, speak to the 3 yoke figures. Each yoke will give you a special item that will prepare you to host a Glandilock seed. Then speak to the Chalza tree at the highest point on the island. Go get them, Nova. The yoke creatures are egg yolks floating on weird bodies. Showboys Podcast followed on the Twitch chat. Hey, thanks, Showboys Podcast. I appreciate it. Okay, so here's the thing, friends. I'm gonna admit a sacred truth to y'all. This is not actually an accurate title. I'm gonna call this a first impressions episode, but that's not strictly speaking true because, like I said, I first played Anodyne at the start of 2020, and early in 2021, I tried playing Anodyne 2, but I was playing on PC. I actually think I recorded it, but I don't think I put it out. It's possible I did, in which case this is the second Anodyne 2 First Impressions episode in the podcast feed, which is confusing. But I just don't like playing games on PC, and even this game, which looks like a Nintendo 64 game, a beautiful one, but still an N64 game, my PC couldn't handle very well. But then I just recently got the chance to check out Anodyne 2 on Switch. I was provided a key for it, so I figured, hey, let's try it again. Left stick to move around, right to move the camera, ZLZR to change the camera distance, A to jump. You can double jump, keep holding A to slow your fall. There's settings in the options menu, and we are off. So unlike the first Anodyne, which is entirely in a 2D top-down Zelda Link's Awakening type format, we're running around a 3D environment with this is one of them 3D platformers, what I love so much. Let's talk to this yoke man. The strange figure is silent. Is it alive, Nova wonders? Nonetheless, its gaze beckons her. Enter my round golden plate, it seems to say. Ye shall find a part of this complete breakfast. The yoke and Nova's fate begin to resonate. The presence of a new nanopoint is in the air. Spark this being and reveal its nanopoint. Shrink forth, nano cleaner Nova. Interact with the environment by firing off a spark. Shoot X or press X to shoot a spark at the yoke. You can enter the nanopoint by shooting the spark repeatedly. So we're just gonna shoot a spark, and there's a stamina bar that shows up, and we shoot it a few times. And then the world gets all pixely, and now we're flying down the yoke's tubes? I don't know if it's an esophagus or what, but we're flying down a tunnel into the yoke, and now we're in the Yoke of Yummy, and now we're back in that Link's Awakening style 2D visual, but we're looking at a device, and the 2D visual is on the device, like we're looking at a Game Boy or something. And anyway, here's the yoke creature. We walk up to him and his head spins around, and it says, Yokwanda the Yokrobe says,
Wowee, a very young cleaner has come to visit. Oh gosh, and I'm the first nano friend she'll see. Boy, howdy, gotta keep it together and remember my lines. I hope she comes over here and presses Y to talk to me.
Yokwanda the Yokrobe, when I go over and press Y to talk to her, says,
Hey there, Nova, you've shrunk inside the microscopic interior of the Yoke of Yummy, the most important yoke of the day. Here you'll find provisions to keep your future Glandilock seed happy and healthy.
All right, so we move up a screen, and here's another yoke person who says, this is a Yummy Yokrobe.
Nova will love our Canterbury Burst cereal because it contains trace amounts of 17 micronutrients in centered recommended ratios, and Glandilock seeds will love its patented crunchity cool taste.
And there's a button, and I press the button, and a little message comes up that says saving. We go on to the next screen. Here's another person who says,
what if we had a Glandilock seed of our very own? Eep, never mind. We may talk a big game here, the Yoke of Yummy, but the development of delicious and nutritious crispy combustibles is all we know.
There's a stone here. We'll read what the stone says. The rock says, there are some colorful rock-like obstructions blocking your path. Try using your nano vacuum to suck stuff out of the way. Hold X to suck in objects, press X to shoot them back out. And we can shoot rocks at other rocks. In the first game, you have a broom. In Anodyne 2, you've got a vacuum. I love it. What does this rock say? How's my game volume? I haven't checked that, actually. Let me check that real quick. That was weird. There was a network error. Why was there a network error? That happened to coincide with me grabbing my mouse that's not even plugged in. Weird. Game volume is okay. I'm gonna call it okay. What did this rock say? I already forgot. Sometimes rocks get in the way, but other times they can be very helpful. Don't paint every rock with a broad brush is all I'm saying, unless you paint them really cool. A lady at my church painted a rock so it looked like a tiger with little whiskers and everything. Pretty neat. Cool, thanks, Rock. This yoke person says,
Congratulations, you are truly deserving of our greatest A Glandilock food. Cartoon characters will suffer many fraud encounters due to the high quality of our centerberry burst cereal. But we can tell you will be a good steward of your Glandilock seed.
And there's a treasure chest, and we opened up, and Nova found the centerberry cereal, one of the 3 elements of nurturing. With it, a Glandilock seed will have all the carbs it needs to make a home in Nova's head. This game's so weird. It's a very, very strange video game. We're gonna get off of. We're gonna get out of our egg because we are in an egg right now. Did I mention that? If we look at the skybox, we're definitely inside. Like, we're in the embryonic sac of an egg, like you do. Here's the next of these weird yoke creatures, who says the second yoke figure sways in the breeze with a profound sense of chill. Dude, it seems to say, riding the Milky Waves. The yoke and Nova's fate begin to resonate. The presence of a new nanopoint is in the air. Spark this being and reveal its nanopoint. Shrink forth, Nano Cleaner Nova, and then we'll shoot him with our spark thing, and then we go through an eggy gullet. I'm sorry, a yolky gullet. We're in the yoke of Sippy now. And there's a yoke being walking around as we're in this 2D plane, and he says,
Yo, Nova, welcome to the yoke of Sippy. Some people say that a Glandilock seed ought to drink 8 dewdrops of our homemade Sippy yolk milk per cell cycle. But we here in the Sippy zone think you can chill with the math and just go with the flow.
We'll move on to the next screen where there's a save point and then another yoke creature who says,
The Glandilock seed is like a direct line to the center, you dig? Just keep your mind open, you know, and the answers will find you.
I go on to the next screen where there's a rock that says, Wanted dust virus, Mr. Spiky. He may just sit there, but this virus has been shouting some very rude comments at our poor yoke robes. Try shooting a block at him, and be sure to suck up any dust he might leave behind. And they look like little, they look like little sea anemones, and I can spit rocks at them, and then they left behind a gem of some sort, and we picked it up. And here's another yoke creature who says,
Nothing like sipping a little sippy yolk milk to make those Glandilock tendrils grow deep and strong. Just ride that high, Nova. Ride that high.
And there's 2 little red creatures on the other side of the screen here, and when we check the rock next to them, it says, Wanted, dust virus, mild-tempered slime. Don't be fooled by their adorable, gooey exteriors. If left unchecked, these pesky ruffians can cause serious illness in the body of their host. Unlike Mr. Spiky, they are safe to vacuum up. Oh, so we'll vacuum this one up and spit him at the other one, and they leave behind a gem, and we'll suck up that gem. There's a little counter on the side of our screen now that's up to 2, because we've got 2 gems. This guy says,
Nova, you made it to the yolk milk, of course. You just relaxed and let it flow, am I right?
And now we're going to open the treasure chest, and Noah found the Sippy yolk milk, one of the 3 elements of nurturing. With it, a Glandilock seed will have all government-approved nutrients needed to spread far and wide inside Nova's head. And we fly out of the yolk tube. Let's go find another terrifying yoke creature to jump into the brain of. I'm jumping up the cliffs here. There's like some cool rocky textures on the ground. There's some cool plants growing out of the ground. Ooh, here's a bridge. Oh, here's the last yoke creature right up ahead here. And we'll talk to him. The final yoke figure seems to gaze upon Nova with a warm yet analytical eye. Yes, it seems to say. A perfect host in need of a perfect reguloid. The Okanovagus fate began to resonate, the prevalence of nanospark, blah, 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 shoot him with our blaster things, and then fly into his holes. Ew, Yoki. Yoke of Cozy, this one's called. And we'll go talk to this little yoke creature who says,
Welcome to the Yoke of Cozy. Yes, yes. Are you feeling comfortable? Yes, yes. We have carefully trained these reguloids to adapt the local atmosphere to your body's precise partialities. Temperature, salinity, acidity, logobridity, and so forth.
I'll go on to the next screen where there's a chicken robot, a reguloid, who says, woof, woof, woof. Translation, temperature 36 degrees, yoke in height. 36 degrees yoke in height, not Fahrenheit. Let's talk to this yoke creature. He says,
Yes, yes, yes. A little cereal, a little oat milk, yes. Such things are quite necessary. However, as the old saying goes, Glandulock seed cannot live on ingestion alone.
And there's 4 paths we can choose from here, friends. We're gonna go to the left first. And on the left path, there's a rock that says, a chasm separates you and those darn dust viruses. You're too far away to suck them up, but perhaps there's another way to get rid of them, like by shooting rocks at them? Kapow! Kapow! Pachoo! We shot them all, and then there was a gate, and the gate went away when we shot them all, so we can suck up the dust seeds and venture forth where there's another reguloid who says, woofer, woof, woof. Translation, air humidity level 5%, success rate for a fish trying to breathe. 5% success rate for a fish trying to breathe. Here's a red dust thingy. We blew it up. Oh, but there's another one on the right side of the screen, and our path is blocked, so we're gonna have to go all the way around, back down, and then over again to get to the other side of the screen so that we can get to that dust creature, whatever they're called. I shot a dust creature at a gate, and the gate goes,
Ouch, watch it, you're gonna chip my paint. If you want me to open, take out your aggression on the dust viruses instead.
okay, we got rid of all the dust viruses. So now we'll go through the gate. Can we pick up a block and take it to the next screen? No, they go away. Okay, good to know. Blow up that guy. There we go. Now the gates are all opened and we can proceed forward. And here's a reguloid who says, woof, woof, woofer. Translation, golden summer light, dappled by oak leaves, the scent of freshly bruised crabgrass and dandelions. An unexpected cool breeze drifts in from across the lake. A tawny rabbit sits up and sniffs before hopping into the bushes. Okay.
Ah, yes, yes, indeed. It is time for you to have reguloids of your very own. How beautiful to become a home. May your head always be a safe and warm resting place for the precious Glandulock seed. Yes, yes, yes.
And then we get a reguloid, personal edition, another one of the 3 elements of nurturing. The reguloid will adapt Nova's head into the perfect environment for a thriving Glandulock seed. And then we fly back out of this Yoki tunnel. Have I used tunnel yet? And now we can head up to the top of the mountain. There's a strange orb here. It says press Y to save game. Your game was successfully saved. Oh, that's just a save point. Okay. And we'll go up to this terrifying face made of rocks. And his name is apparently Chalaza the Eighth.
Nova, after all this time, we meet at last. Nova, what were we talking about? Oh, right, I am the ancient Chalaza tree, keeper of the sacred knowledge of the Albumin shore. From the day you washed up on our shores, I have chronicled your journey. And oh, what a journey it has been. Reflect with me on those sweet and daring stories that now drift upon the hazy river of the past. Do you remember the blustery, cereal-obsessed yoke of yummy inhabitants? The laid-back denizens of the yoke of Sippy? How about those kind and conscientious caretakers of the yoke of Cozy? Ah, I have laughed, I have cried, I have prayed for wisdom to bless your decisions. Your thunderous triumphs and your arduous struggles shall be etched into my branches for all eternity. And now you have arrived here, at the pinnacle of Mount Vigilane, from which one can survey the furthest reaches of this expansive land. Have you the three elements of nurturing? Ah, wonderful. Then my epoch of anticipation is complete. Nova, I grant to you the Glandilock seed.
And a seed that's sticking off of a branch coming out of its head spins around and then goes flying up to me. And now it shows up on that little device we look at. We're on the 2D view. It's on the right-hand side of the screen. Damn it. And then he talks some more.
Oh, now, Nova, it is time. Already I can feel my power fading. The age of albumin draws to a close. Quickly, Nova, lay yourself down upon the hatch line, and with the last of my energy, I will send you to the great beyond.
And so we're laying on a little cart on a monorail made of string or something. And we get it goes flying down the string, and it says Anodyne 2, Return to Dust. We get a title card. And now we're in a new 3D environment. It's a black void, and there's a brick wall up ahead of us, and we're walking across some platforms and some metal grates, and there's a gap in the wall, an opening, and we'll press Y to enter the door. And we step through it. Now we're in a small tunnel. And up ahead of us is, oh man, it's our mommies. It's the, well, there's a box first. Okay, Palisade says, Nova, you made it. I'll tell you all about that device soon, but for now, come over to me for a quick chat. Okay, we're not going to the box yet. We're gonna go talk to our mommies. There you are, darling hatchling. I knew you could make it. Welcome to Alive. Nova, you are in Center Sanctuary, the dwelling place of the Center. The Center is, well, it's hard to explain to someone who's only just hatched, isn't it? The Center is the Center. It created all of us along with our world, the island of New the Land. The Center is like an artist, and we are its painting, a beautiful expression of its vision. The Center is everything, or rather the Center simply is. Our lives are like shadows cast by the Center's true form, which will one day become apparent. That's Seesaw saying that. And then we get a character card for the Center. It's ... the Center. Creator of New Zealand. Painter / shadow puppeteer. Literally everything? Mommy? And then Mommy gets backspaced out and it says, a figure beyond comprehension. Perhaps we are all the artist and art of New Zealand. It's New the Land, but the land is one word. New Zealand. New Zealand. I'm not saying New Zealand with a lisp. It's New the Land. New the Land? New Zealand. We shape and are shaped by each other. By treating our neighbors with kindness, we can build each other up. Well, I don't know if I would go that far, Palisade. What good we may accomplish flows directly from the rightness of the Center. Regardless, we must focus. Nova, listen closely. I will now reveal to you your true purpose and the path ahead. You have been born into a war zone, Nova. Granted, it is not a contest of swords or guns, of armies or infantry. We wage a war that is nearly invisible and yet wholly insidious. We face a deadly force that wrinkles the face of time, as a lurking water beast ripples the surface of a lake, disrupting the clear reflection of our souls. This voice has gone places. We call it nanodust. And then the background fades and we just see her and the veins of the Center. And she says, it starts small. A microscopic seed planted in some dark, moist corner of one's organs. Then the nanodust grows. It feeds upon the structure of our minds, magnifying our fears, our wrath, our wrongful desires, I was trying to be all dramatic. Our wrongful desires eventually blossoms to its full scale, completely obliterating the identity of the host. Symmetry. Beautiful symmetry is our bright... Symmetry. Beautiful symmetry is our birthright as creations of the Center, and yet we lose ourselves in the dust. We begin to decay, to decompose, to crumble. Dust begets dust, and we forsake our true selves. Nova, perhaps your true purpose is now becoming apparent. You were given the abilities to shrink and to clean so that you might reverse the tide of dust that threatens to overwhelm us. You must travel far and wide, shrinking inside the inhabitants of New Zealand. those most consumed by the dust contamination. Suddenly, a tiny spark flies towards Nova's head. What's that? Palisade Cod, activate! Palisade creates a barrier using her shield, containing the spark in a glowing cube. A nano intruder attempting to infiltrate your body. Nova, I can contain it temporarily, but you must shrink to nanoscale and destroy it. Don't be afraid, sweetheart. I'll be right here. I know you can do it. And there's a cube in front of us, and we're gonna blast it with our sparks so that we can shrink inside of it. All right, we did it, and the screen goes all pixely, and now we're flying through like a cyber tunnel made of graph paper, stacked on graph paper. And now we're in a 2D screen that says drifting pollen. And there's a tree next to us that seems to have pollen all over it. We're gonna try and vacuum that up. All right, we vacuumed the pollen off of it. Here's a save point. We'll step up a cliff, and there's a tree with pollen on it. We'll suck that up real quick. And there's a yellow slime throwing blocks at me. We'll suck him up and spit him out. Oh, he hit me just a little bit. I lost 1 health. Okay. I lost health again. Okay, so I can't, if I suck up the yellow ones, I lose health. Ow. So I have to shoot blocks at him. There we go. Okay, let's clean up these trees. So I have 6 health, and I'm down to 4 so far. Just picking up all the places where there's just clouds of dust. Oh, there's a little yolk person there who's afraid because of the dust. Let's pick up the dust and then talk to them. This is the dusty yolk. Oh,
Nova, is that you? Did I get here?
oh, poor little guy. Here's another checkpoint. I'll hit that. Pick up the dust. We're back to full health now. And here's the nano assassin.
Here. Nova will die. The center will crumble. Dust will consume New Zealand.
All right, there's blocks all over the side of the screen, so I'm gonna pick up a block. Oh, he's running at me. He hit me. I'll spit a block at him. And here's spit another block at him. Oh, he hit me again. Okay. What's he gonna do? Spit a block. There we go. How many times do I have to hit him? So he runs across the screen, and he also spits yellow globs at me. But I have to just keep shooting blocks at him. I'm almost out of blocks. I have 3 blocks left. He moves in a pattern, so okay, there we got him.
Nova will die. Center will crumble. Dust will consume New Zealand.
And he explodes. You've been defeated, Nano Assassin. And here's a rock that says, the Nano Cleaner. She exists, and she was born to dust, to clean, to rescue. May she protect all of us from harm. May the Nano Cleaner save New Zealand and its denizens from their fate. That's what the rock says? That is what the rock says. All right. Let's step through a portal, and we're back, zooming out of the tube, back to the center. Oh. This game needs to give me less characters to do voices for. Oh, you're growing up so quickly. I didn't expect a challenge like this for you for quite some time, but I'm so proud of you. Sadly, there are those who would seek to destroy New Zealand. Though we are all created by the center, the nanodust can inflict a kind of madness. Now, perhaps you can see the urgency of your mission. Nova, take the elevator behind you up to the city, and always remember that you stand against the ever-encroaching crawl of degradation. And so that's where we're actually going to leave the game here, because from here, I'll tell you a little bit about what happens. From here, we actually go into an open world, kind of, a city environment that's got a bunch of people in it who have problems, and we have to go in and clean out the dust inside of their minds in order to help them with their problems. Kind of a Psychonauts vibe, actually. I liked this game when I played a little bit of it before. I am loving playing it now. I'm really excited to play more of the Switch version. Anodyne and Anodyne 2 are both really cool, really surreal, weird, kind of Zelda-ish action-y games. Simple Zelda, though. Like, the puzzle solving is secondary to the weirdness of the story. That's what you come to Anodyne for. So yeah, that's a little bit of Anodyne 2, Return to Dust. Thank you for checking it out, friends. If you're listening to the podcast, hey, stick around. There'll be more podcasts later. If you're watching on YouTube, click around. There's a whole bunch more YouTube videos. And then go listen to the podcast too, because the podcast is just this, but there's more of it. And yeah. And then, hey, if you're watching this on Twitch right now, hang on for just a second. I'm going to try and fix my throat, and I'm going to be back to play another game. So yeah, until next time, friends, tap A and hope for the best.
The Power Playthroughs podcast is part of the We Can Make This Work Probably podcast network and Geek to Geek Media. Visit chortlepower.com to find more of my nonsense, links to both networks, and the Patreon where you can support the show.